Oh boy, that camera. There we go. Oh, hello, and welcome back. I know that this chair is really tall. What's this one? Same height. There we go. Well, hello, welcome back to our seed barn. We are going to continue working on the Wonder Wing here. Nobody's joined in yet, but no surprise there. We'll get going here in a little bit. We are going to go ahead and start sheeting the upper areas. I've already went in and cut a bunch of the shear webs here. I was getting that name wrong last week, but I did quite a few. I left left a few spots open here for my pins. I want to keep this thing nice and flat. I don't know if anybody caught it also on the last week, but these corners were lifting up. It's time to get this thing nice and flat, because when you start sheeting it, you're going to put any warp that you would build into the wing at this point. It's pretty flimsy with just this open structure. So as you sheet it, you want to make sure she's nice and flat and pinned down. So I pinned down through the braces here. See, a couple of them broke already. It's no big deal. Did over there. I think I did one here in the middle. We're going to have to lift that once we get back here to sheet it, because otherwise I won't be able to get to it to put the take the pendant back out. So I'll have to try to remember that I got that one there. Actually, let's just see what happens when I take it off. Yeah, see, that could be a bow. So anyways, if we do a pretty aggressive angle here, I can probably get that out. Of course, now it's not going to hold. There we go. That's much better. So anyways, I went ahead and pre-cut some wood here for leading edge sheeting and that, trailing edge sheeting. But I did make forget one thing last week, and that's how are we going to attach sheeting on the bottom around our tabs for holding the wing into the fuselage. So you can sheet to it, but you can't go, and then it'll leave a weak point here on the rib. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut the leading edge off of the spare ribs that I do have, the front half here, and we'll have to make a couple more. But I'm just going to cut across the spar here joint. And we'll keep that because we don't know, we might need that in the future. But that's kind of what we'll end up with. And then I'm going to glue these on either side of the plywood rib. The only thing I got to do is make sure I get the top and the bottom right. There we go. And that'll give me a place to glue the bottom sheeting to go up to the plywood. Yeah. I'm about out of glue, but I got a little bit left, so hopefully I can I have enough to get through the day here. I did order some more from I was going to say, just ain't showed up yet. Story of my life this time around. So I'm not sure I'm going to share the center section here, because we might need access to the middle here for battery and whatnot. Depends on how our weight comes out. I'm just giving myself a little bit of room here. See, I'm just leaving a little bit of that spar material there, so that way it'll won't interfere with the shear web. We got to do both sides because I'll have to put sheeting in the middle here too. Well, hello. I've already done the introduction, but um, made a mistake on the last week's video, and because I got the tabs in here for the plywood, it's going to be hard to sheet around the tabs, so I need to put some ribs on either side of the plywood ribs, so I got a place to move the sheeting to, so it's just not all wobbly in there. Oh, left already. So yeah, it's about empty. Yeah, I'm gonna need 2 more. And if you're coming back after the live stream has ended, I do appreciate it. It's not a super popular build, but I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Hello. I am cutting the front half of the ribs off and gluing them onto our plywood. If you were here last time, to have support for the sheeting. I'm not going to quite have enough to uh, get all of them done, so I'm going to use the last one as a template here. We got some scrap balsa that I'll cut some out of. Trying to show you what I'm doing here. Looks like we're going to need 2. So well, I am working on making some sub ribs for the sheeting to adhere to the leading edge. You know what I'll do is I'll stack these. I got a couple blanks, and then I'll move over to the scroll saw here. It'll be a little noisy here for a minute. I'm going to step over to the drill press real quick and drill these holes out. their templates or new ribs, sub ribs made. I'm going to go ahead and glue this guy in. The only thing I hate about this glue seems like you gotta put a hole in it every time you go to use it. Oops. Fit all right. Yeah. Hello, how are you? People just keep coming and going, coming and going. Nobody wants to stick around and watch. That's alright. I didn't like this one. Don't say it's probably backwards. Okay. I think I need to sand the top of those rims a little bit. There's that one. Okay. Pretty happy with that. I think we'll start with the filling edge shading here and determine where we're gonna put our splice at. Might as well just go right there. I'm gonna try to split the rib section. I don't need to look as bad on the front as I do on the back. I always put the line where I cut the sheeting out on the back, because I'm not as straight as the factory joint. Okay. We'll also tapered the trailing edge a little bit off camera. Didn't need much taken off of it. No. We had to mark this one. When did I put that pin on? Okay. Got it. I'll see it stand down. Okay. Leading edge sheeting. My favorite. What? This one, we're going to go a little more probably to here. Yeah, we'll put the seam right there. If I did my job right, then it should line up perfect with that rib. Oh, excuse me. Hello. Nope, good way. That's funny. Anyway, this piece is a little warped, so I'm going to go ahead and do a pin to the leading edge here to get this initial joint done. So this is not going to stay. Let's see. I gotta get some clamps. I'm gonna try to position it on the leading edge, right to the point. But if I'm a little off, it's not a big deal. Hopefully I can get the clamp in here and it'll give me. No. Okay. This is 16th inch balsa, so it's pretty flexible. But I'm still going to ask it to do a lot here, so we'll lay it down after I get it leading edge bleed. Maybe one more on the end there. Okay. And we got enough thin to run a thin strip. Run thin CA down across there, probably. Nope. I ain't liking that. You know what I mean? It just seems like it clogs up every time you turn around. Oh, morning in here without anybody here. Maybe if you're watching it on the replay, you can join us next week. And we're going to start doing them every Sunday at 3. I hope it's live. Oh yeah, that's live. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start soaking the balsa wood down. I'm going to do this a couple of times because I'm asking a lot out of this joint here. That's why I'm doing this the way I'm doing it. Oh, there we go. We got somebody here. Yay. Just started on sheeting the wing is what I'm up to now. And letting this stuff relax with some water. You can see it's already starting to get in there. And we just sit here and wait, and it'll just start. I mean, you can kind of see it. It's just, yeah, it's just starting to lay down. Yeah. I think we can start go ahead and glue that. Like I said, it only takes a couple minutes. We can lift this up and this thing really starting to irritate me. Wonder if I have. There they are. These pipes. That's probably a little too much. My problem is trying to get it down inside this bottle. I'm gonna have to cut this top wide open. I get heavy amount of glue there. And then with the water on there, the ammonia, it'll start curing pretty quick. Hello. Working on sheeting a wing on the Wonder. That looks nice. I also added some sub ribs up here so we could have a place to glue the sheeting underneath. I can explain more when I get there. Like that. So we'll just keep going right down to the wingtip here. We got another sheet here, but I'm going to cut this one off. I have to move here real quick. So it's going to cut it a little long. Oh, wait, I got plenty of material here to work with. I should trim the rest of it down later. Yeah. Okay. And since this is such a short piece, I can manage it a little better. And I will talk about an up close view. And of course, you gotta glue your fingers to the too. Make sure you do that and glue it yourself. Okay. Don't want to bend it too much because it'll crack. So I just wanted to make sure that it was going to line up. And we'll do the same thing to this and just push it down a little bit and it'll start curling around. Too bad there ain't nobody here to ask questions. See, it's already starting to curl down. The only thing that kind of sucks about this is waiting for it to dry. It does take a while to dry, and you can't immediately sand it. You usually got to wait several hours for it to the balsa to dry. Yeah, it's getting there. Just gonna make sure that it's gonna lay flat. It's still kind of hard to push over, but it's definitely getting there. Maybe one more light spritz in there. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Get some more glue here. I have to find something to plug that out with. Okay. Like that. And then like on my something extra up there, I am going to totally sheet the center section of this from rib to rib. Marking each side of the sheeting, and then I can connect the dots with my saw here. I think I'll be ordering these more in the future. Yeah, I like them. Don't want to cover up our pins here. I'm going to go ahead and take these two out of the center out. Hello. Okay. I'm going to cut a little piece in here. I am not around. One side. Mark the width here, and then I'm going to need something a little longer than I think I have. I almost wanted the moisture stripper to go that long. Gonna need it here in a little bit anyways. Hello. So we got some people joining us. Here we go, screwdriver. I was super excited when this thing came in the mail. This is a Master Air Screw balsa stripper. I don't even know if they still make them or whatnot, but I used to have one a long time ago and it got lost in the move. Yeah, it'll just go wide enough. 2 seconds. Oh, we're gonna have to, sand on this a little bit. I think it's probably long enough. I can use my pointer here. Hello. I am in the process of sheeting the top of the wing on Wonder. A little bit more. Definitely getting closer. Ah, nice fit. Okay. We're getting a nice fit. Let's get a little gap right there. Oh, there we go. I think we can go ahead and pull our clamps and stuff off the leading edge here. There we go. Boy, that didn't stiffen things up. Okay, so we might as well go ahead and do a initial sand on this. I like to use my foam blocks when I'm sanding, sheeting, and that. And you got a little gap there. Might just have enough thin to fill it. And all you're doing is sand her a little bit and then sand to that bottle. Yep. More's coming on the way. All you do is sand a little bit, and when it fills up with some balsa dust, you set her in place with some NCA. Okay, that's still drying. I'm going to go ahead and start making up my cap strips. And I'm going to use my balsa stripper here. I still have my homemade one. I'm just going to go, that looks about right distance. I think I like mine a little better. All cap strips do is give it a covering, something to adhere to when we get to that stage. Don't want them to be touch wider. Yeah, I think I like them out with a little bit more. How you doing? Alright, evidently so everybody's too dang busy to be watching a live stream today, so that's been an hour. I'll go ahead and finish these cap strips up during the week this time off the camera, and next week we'll flip her over and start working on the other side. So anyways, if you're watching this, hopefully afterwards, we'll see you next Sunday at 3 o'clock. Thanks for watching.